a handful of months ago, Edgar asked me if I was going to Kopikon, and I had no idea what that was. I looked it up, saw it was in Scotland, and was like, sold, I'm going. Did I travel for almost 15 hours one way, including layover airport time, to get to a half-day conference? Yes, I did. Hi, I'm Madeline James, and I thought it'd be fun to put a little vlog together for going to Kopikon II, which is a Conlanging conference held by David and Jessie Peterson of LangTime Studio and many other things. Now, a few quick disclaimers about this vlog. I mentioned this before, I'm not a good vlogger. I got very few good clips of things. Luckily, there were other people there taking photos and they let me use some, so I'm tossing some of those in here. I also used my phone to film, and I didn't put a lot of effort into production value, so lower thy expectations. Day one, Thursday, the day before the actual conference, still had one very exciting event going on, which was the sort of pre-Kopikon LangTime Studio stream. And that channel is David and Jessie's YouTube channel, where they stream every week on Thursdays, where they build languages for the board game they're making, Savala. But for this specific Thursday, they had been planning for all the people that were going to be in attendance to do a sort of mini relay, which I got to participate in. We read it all through live on the stream, which was really fun. So let's head over to the LangTime stream.
This relay was slightly different from usual Conlang relays, but it's called an exquisite corpse.
I'm gonna attempt to read this. This is in Osmalo, my spell language. Noshadu Shumov, Sivlalosh, Amaiwan, 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 Amaiwan.
Obviously, that was it for the relay. We don't have any more there, but we do have a very special guest with us, and so I would like to invite up here my mother. Okay, last thing we're gonna do, Madeline, come on. Anyway, this is Madeline James from Madeline James World Builds and also Madeline James Writes.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you write, you've recently come out with something, yeah?
Yes, I have a book on pre-order.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us a bit about it.
Oh, thank you, Keras.
That's right. We don't have any here, do we? Does anybody have Jessie's book here by any chance?
Oh,
Hang on.
I say Keras.
Yeah. Woo! All right.
Once the stream had all wrapped up, we had a little bit of time before dinner and hanging out, so it was finally time to start the real reason I was at Kopikon, other than the conference. Rock names. I let everyone know beforehand that I was going to do this, but if they wanted to do a little brief interview for this vlog, they could answer any combination of 3 questions, including why are they here, who are they, how'd they get into conlanging, that sort of thing. And then the most important one, what are some rock names in your conlang? Because if you know me, you know I have a thing for rocks. So let's get into the first round of interviews.
Hi everyone, I'm Jake. I'm part of Let's Have a Builder and part of Languages of Pillar World with our very own Maddie. When I got into conlanging, it was probably in 2016 after watching some Artifacting videos, if I'm being honest. So it's really cool to meet him here at Kopikon. And my rock names. I tried to get a few from quite a few different languages that I've been part of making. So in the recently finished season of Let's Have a Booba, we made bokus, and we have the compound vonzuhi, which means pumice. And in the related language that I made for a different club project. There's stool, which just means rock or stone, which is related to the Zulki part of the Baku's word. In Yatlao, we have words for coal, which is chu. We have a word for granite, which is nuakalku. And we have a word for hematite, which is nuaslain. After I accidentally wrote claystone as slaystone. And I found so slay already meant liver, and I've been talking about hematite with Maddie, and I thought livers are kind of irony in flavor, so maybe they would, and they have the lumpy shape, so maybe they would associate that with hematite. And then in Nasi Pomo, I had to make some words, so I made. The proto form is the closest I can get to Madi, which is Madi. And I made a derivational suffix with it so that sky, which is Yenu, becomes Yenuri, which means turquoise.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like
So
it.
yeah, those are my rock words. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
You'd be so upset if you saw that later.
All right, does it still look okay?
It looks great.
Okay. Do I say hello to people or to you?
To the fans.
Okay. So definitely not you. Got it. All right. So, hello. I'm here for Kopikon II. This is the Kopikon I shirt, but I am here for Kopikon II. Very excited. It's not something that I thought would happen, and it's happening. So I'm very excited about that. I got into conlanging because I was very interested in language. I became very interested in language quite late. When I was 17, I had no interest before then, and then was very interested afterwards. And I continued to be until I took linguistics, and then I kind of fell into conlanging. And I will give you a couple words for rock in a couple of languages. I always remember the word for rock in Dothraki because I hate it, and it doesn't sound good. It is neguin. Is a technically licit word in Dothraki, and I hadn't had a lot that was in there. And I was vaguely trying to reference my old language, grathere, which has rocks in it. And I was like, well, let's just do it. And then I became stuck with it. Yeah, I know. Like,
Unlike all the other languages that don't have rocks in them.
well, it was just like a big rock language, and it had like a rock writing system that I'm actually still kind of proud of. Anyway, so like I just did that one, right? And neguin, and then I hated it. Every single time I had to use it, I hated it, and it looked stupid, and it didn't fit. And so then I just went with Biblaridion. Everything in that language was just like, all right, if you think it sounds over pretty, just do it anyway, because this language is ridiculous in that, I'm just putting all of the nice sounding stuff in it. And so I was like, well, rocks are durable, and so the word for rock in Dothraki and in Biblaridion is doron. And there's your 60 seconds.
In 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
Hello, I'm here for Kopikon II, and I have a few words for rock in my Conlang Mutwenda. The basic word is for any old rock is goch, and it at one point early on is combined with the word for bedrock, which is alm. Yeah, it formed grom, which is the common word for bedrock, where you want to dig down and build. This is a language of dwarves, so building and rocks are important for them.
Yes.
All right, so and the word for sandstone comes from the word sand, and it's pronounced jomba. That's pretty much it.
After that, we had a really fun dinner. We got to hang out with everybody, went to this little pub. I think we had some gelato, It was a long day, but it was so much fun. finally getting to meet and talk to people, and everyone was so delightful. Absolutely delightful. But then it was time to sleep and get ready for day 2, Kopikon Day.
Good morning. It is Kopikon Day. I slept pretty well. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I didn't really film a whole lot, mostly because I'm socially awkward and filming people is weird. It's been really fun meeting people in person and actually talking to them. Like, everyone is so amazing, which is half of why it's been so easy for me to get into conlanging in the first place. Like, if I did not have a, like, community of people that had started being there to help me and to help me out in the live streams, like, there is no way I would have ever tackled anything a tenth as complicated as I have. And there's so many people here that have been so helpful to me, like, you know, Jessie and Jake especially have helped me out so much, and like just a bunch of other people here that have been in my chats and helped out and given thoughts, and I don't know, I think this community is just really awesome. So I'm having fun. They're equally awesome in person, if not more awesome, because, you know, they have like a third dimension and I don't know. It's good. But yeah, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna try to find some coffee. We'll see.
And then we went over to start getting ready for Kopikon itself.
All right, welcome everybody to Kopikon 2. Thank you so much for being here. All right, I am David Peterson. This is my wife Jessie Peterson, and she is going to tell you why I guess you're actually here.
Well, first of all, we have a list of speakers for you today. Not only are David and I speaking, but you're going to get to hear from Biblaridion, Jake, Penny, and Keras Saryan.
Our very first speaker is the University of Edinburgh's own Keras Saryan.
Was also meant to be a puff of confetti, but that doesn't seem to have come through. Anyway, so yeah, obviously this is not the first time you've heard of this, I'm sure, but I just wanted to say huge congratulations to Jessie, whose book, How to Create a Language, was published last week. We have copies in the room with us. Grathere, cassava chopping debt is they must chop cassava.
Let's have a booba. Jake, Penny, thank you. Here you go.
So what is, let's have a booba. So what is a booba? Which, and the answer is most people will be able to tell because it's a non-arbitrary mental association of some speech sounds. Jonathan, if you could get on that, that would be great. And we haven't used it in a relay yet, so we're not really sure what horrible things we have yet to add to it. And I'm going to leave you with the question of, does Let's Have a Booba produce good music?
Yes.
Oh, wait. I've not been stressing them properly. I've been stressing them weekly. And so I think being part of a team really is an opportunity to kind of get outside of your own head and make something that you're proud of, not just because you did it, but because you did it with someone who you enjoyed working with as well.
Our next speaker is none other than the incredible, as David used to say, Biblaridion. You did. You added an I where it's always been. And now with that, I think we are ready to welcome.
Oh, did you already introduce him?
Well, I've been talking about him, but go ahead.
Oh, did you say that?
Wonderful. Hello, thank you. and I hope you're ready to be bored to tears, because there's absolutely no way I could top Jake's talk in terms of entertainment value. And I never developed it very far, but I actually came up with this idea while I was teaching myself the International Phonetic Alphabet, because the time being I have jocosely dubbed Project Hermes, which, I mean, that's the thing with Conlang. It's like you can't name them until you actually make them expanded, the phonetic inventory, but all of these new sounds that we're generating are coming about just purely through mutation. Ordinarily, I would say thank you in the language that I'm talking about, but since I haven't made the language, just get English. So thank you very much.
Right, I'm Aaron, and my conlang is called Biblaridion, and in it, the word for stone is Rhodwar, and most of the words for different types of rocks originated from compounds in the proto-language, and when I was evolving them, I realised they pretty much all include Rhodwar. So here Rhodwar is for basalts and dark rocks. Most of these are defined by colour, some of them by texture as well. Samin Rhodwar, tough and soft sedimentary rocks, things that can be quite easily worked by hand. So Stone de Rhodwar, red aphantic rocks, things like rhyolites and I've forgotten the other one. And then Bedeau de Rhodwar, white aphantic rocks, these are things like andesites, olivine, which have very fine grains and grey or white kind of colours. And then Dirne de Rhodwar, which is phaneretic rocks like granite and gabbro, which have lots of coarse grains in it.
Yeah, so I have in Langamuyu there is a word for limestone or chalk, which is essentially kind of compound. It's aga og, and aga is rock, and og is the genitival form of the verbal noun, so the infinitive of ok, which is to bind or to stick. So it's like a bind stone or a stick stone, essentially, with the idea that limestone, especially in the Middle Ages, was often used as a cement, right? As a cement material, and also lime itself is one of the primary kind of sticking or gluing materials which you get from limestone.
Yeah.
That's how I coined it. And that's unfortunately the only one other than just the word for rock that I had time to make.
So far.
But there will be more.
My conlang is the Atlan conlang. In the Atlan conlang, the base root for stone is the word na, with a lot of words for types of stone being derived from that in some way. One of them is the word for slate, which is bojana, which translates roughly to the stone used for touching, or the touchstone, from the use of slates as a historical touchstone, which was used to test the purity of precious metals by literally touching the precious metal to the stone and seeing what colour the resulting streak was compared to non-alloys.
So hi, I'm Ben. I go by Time for TR online sometimes, so you'll see that TJER. I've been conlanging since I was about 11, so for 9 years now. So in my conlang Panchone, which is my most developed conlang at the moment, I have the word vacha, which refers to stone like as a material. But because my culture, the culture that speaks this language, does a lot of mining, I thought, well, metaphorically that would be extended to sort of space in between things of value, how like stone separates minerals. So it gets used to mean less like filler. Like within text, you might refer to a long bit of text between the important bits of information as vacha. You might refer to it as useless episodes within a story that you don't need to watch for the entire thing. Or you might also use it for the seeds in fruit or the bones in fish. Essentially any part of something that isn't really what you're interested in. And so yeah, that's an interesting thing I did with the word stone.
So in addition to getting to meet a lot of really cool people at Kopikon, I got to meet a couple of patrons. And one of those patrons, Nathan, gave me this book, The Flight of Dragons, which, if you do not know, for Pillar World on the Patreon side, I've been doing live streams while I work on Spec Bio Dragons. I think I had a couple of initial videos about this, but this book, which is apparently out of print, but he found it in a used bookstore. Has all types of stuff about the, Flight of Dragons, obviously, given that it's called The Flight of Dragons. It's by Peter Dickinson, and I'm very excited about it. It's very cool, and this is their contribution to Spec Bio Dragons, and that's just very, very cool. Like, do you see this? It's awesome. I'm very excited about it. It has all sorts of, like, super cool things in it. Like, there's a whole chapter on dragon blood, right? I don't know. I'm very excited about it. I haven't gotten the time to like sit down and read through it all yet. I have like a bunch of books that I need to go through for all the Spec Bio stuff. But I'm having so much fun and I really appreciated this. Thanks, Nathan.
Next up, do you want me to just introduce myself? Standing music theory or any of it. Guitar is the thing that made sense to me. And so I wanted a musical conlang that would make sense on the guitar that could be. There are two languages that I came across from between 2003 and now that kind of made me think. One, but you wouldn't have to be able to tell what notes they were or if they or like what the harmonics were or anything like that. You would just need to be able to tell, is it the same or different? That's it. A lot of people ended up dropping out over the course of the semester. First shape in the pentatonic scale. And up next, we have Jessie Peterson, author of How to Create a Language, the Conlang Guide, who is also the creator of many other languages. For example,
In my own experience, I have found that non-conlangers are better able to appreciate conlangs for hire while being utterly confused about why people enjoy conlanging. That good enough line was created by a deadline. Thank you, Cambridge University Press. Why you're doing this. And if that doesn't help, take a bigger step back and see if your soul needs something else for the moment. And yes, Madeline, where are you? Fellow overachiever. I am aware that I have an overachiever complex. Passion Project 2, which I've been calling Project Gemini. And happy early anniversary, David. It's the language longtime LangTimers have been clamoring for. JW. JW. And so those unstressed initial and final syllables drop out.
That people actually showed up. That was, it's always a bit nerve-wracking putting something on. Go get Natalie.
I will add really quick that I was not confident how much I would really follow in this conference. I had a expectation that it was going to be very much over my head, but I was really, really happy that I actually followed most of it. There's definitely a lot I didn't, but there was some fun showcases, there was some really funny, inspiring moments, and it was just a lot of fun, and it was really cool to see the personalities of the various presenters really coming through and seeing like stuff they'd done and the way they approach conlanging, and I really enjoyed it, and it gave me so many ideas of things to do, which we won't talk about now, but I'm really, really glad I got to go to that conference, and you should absolutely watch through the streams if you weren't there or haven't already seen them. Once the conference is over, we all headed down to this market. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like the Edinburgh Street Market or something, where we could all just like get a bunch of food, hang out, and talk. I had a lot of really fun conversations with people.
Okay, I'm Edgar. On the internet, I go by Artifactsian. I'm in Edinburgh at the moment, and it's really, really cold. Madeline said I need to talk about rocks, so myself and Keras, Saryan, we're working on a conlang at the moment as a sort of like personal project. There's no word for rock in this language. I made up a word for rock in this language without consulting Keras, and the word for rock on its own is ma. N-A with a little tilde on it for people, because I can't pronounce the thing. But the fun thing about it is if you want to say the rock, it's anap, right? Ooh. But if you want to say my rock, it's adamich. So hopefully Madeline is going to put in some text here, and hopefully we'll see how unrelated all these things look, but they are related, and I'll leave that to you to figure out.
Biblaridion, and I have a YouTube channel of the same name where I talk about linguistics and biology and sometimes other stuff. And I have many words for rocks in many different languages. First of all, in Okolawak, the word is awam, which is an elemental noun, but if you convert the noun class to a material noun, you get awa, and that specifically means a stone that has been carved or worked in some fashion. Then in Thracian languages, the Proto-Thracian root for rock was kethu, which in Nakashti has become ketso, and in Edun, classical Edun, has become chets, whereas in modern Edun, that has become shes, with a high tone. Then in Ilothwi, the old word for rock was mu'i, but that has since largely just become a classifier and has become the verbal prefix mwe, which is used for small round objects. And so this other word, tla'e, that used to just mean like boulder, has now become the standard word for rock. And in Takvamir, the word for rock is irni. And that's all I could find. So.
And then after another very, very long day, it was time to head back to my flat, where I got to watch a very funny street fight. Poor attempt at a street fight, honestly, between a few drunken patrons of some pub of sorts, I don't know, out in the street, which was entertaining. And the various shenanigans of drunk people around Princess Street definitely kept me up most of the night, but that's okay. The goal for Saturday morning was to meet up with some people, and after walking, I think 25-30 minutes over near the Parliament building, it was time to hike Arthur's Seat. So let's get to it.
I'm distinguished. I've got some rock words. I've got a standard word for rock, it's just a schla, and then a special word for limestone chalk, anything made of shells, that's sekla, and they take different classifiers because limestone rocks are made of fossils, and because they used to be alive, they have residual souls that you can use for enchanting, so they take the animate classifier as doom, and the standard rocks take the inanimate, that's doos. Yeah.
Alright, Mr. Rock. What's your name? Well, no, what do you ask, Rock? Name? Country of origin? Yeah.
And then after collapsing for a bit in this little cafe, we walked all the way over to the castle and did a little bit of a tour. It was time again for some interviews.
So my name is Jessie Peterson, and I am here because I am half of LangTime Studio, and we hosted Kopikon II, a Conlanging convention. And I got into conlanging way back when I was a kid. I was fascinated by languages but had no opportunity to study them, so I thought, why not create my own? And so I've been, at that point, attempting to create languages since I was 10. My first real conlang that I actually call a conlang, I didn't create until much later when I was getting my PhD in linguistics. I have 3 languages that I pulled for my words for rock. In Joadi, which is my personal happiness project language, the word is kra, and in plural, we've got kravo, rocks behind us. I guess a stone wall, really. In Nomakola, which is my language for gnomes, tike is the word, and for more than one, it's itike. And then in Jedavie, the language I just debuted yesterday at Kopikon II, the word is kira, and those are my words for rocks.
Hi, I'm Keras. I'm one of the speakers from Kopikon II. And since Madeline is asking for rock words, I presented on a brand new language at Kopikon. And in her honour, I made the word in this language for rock, mande, derived from the proto word made, in your honour. So I hope you like that. And then I've got one last thing to say, which is hut grathere wipa.
Oh, go. I can cut it. I'll probably
Yeah,
remember. That part,
I'm
man.
done. I'm gone.
After a Scottish pub dinner, we headed out to Leith, I think it was, to a board game store. I think Robot Games, and we played Sovala. So sort of play tested the new version of their game, which was very cute. There's lots of little like critters, and I had high hopes for how this game was going to go because I'm typically very, very good at board games. I pick them up very quickly. I'm pretty strategic and I tend to win. However, that was not the case with playing Sovala. My team was destroyed epically. Very, very epically destroyed. And luckily, Jake isn't rubbing it in too much, but it was an embarrassing defeat, to be completely honest. But it was a lot of fun. I'm excited to play again. Okay, so we cannot end these rock interviews without covering one of the most exciting ones, mine. So Jake, who's been helping me create the language families of Pillar World, the languages of Pillar World, right, on our Monday Conlanging streams. And we put together a list of some rock names in the proto-language, seed language for this. So, also as a reminder, I'm really bad at reading IPA, so my ability to read this is probably going to be really bad, so don't hate my pronunciation. But we actually have a lot here, probably because I just really like rocks and this type of thing. So for obsidian, we have Hibaku, something like that. We have Ulsers, which is sandstone. We have Yoloch, which is basalt, however you want to pronounce that. We have Uloch, which is amber. We have Relor, which is ironstone. We have Chedma, which is salt. Lid, which is limestone. I feel like there's something about how to pronounce this, but it's Lir, which is jade. Iplar, which is greenstone. And I think that's all the ones that we put together before Kopikon. So yeah, thank you, Jake. And yay rocks. I got to meet everyone for breakfast for a little bit, which was nice. Just, I don't know, it was nice not having to say goodbye the night before and get to see everybody one more time. And it was really kind of sad saying goodbye because I've never really socialed that well before. I'm typically the type of person that can handle people for like an hour, maybe two, especially if it's larger groups. Like one-on-one I'm pretty good with, but like large groups of people, I typically burn out really quick. And then I'm like, I need to go recover for a week. Thanks, bye. But I was out and about with these people for like 3 days straight, like all day, like 15 hours a day, I don't know, with various groups of people, not the same people. And I've never been out and about that much in my entire life. And with all that said and done, my time in Scotland was over. It was time to drive back to Edinburgh, fly back to America, and get back to my day-to-day life. But I'm very excited to continue these relationships with everyone, to keep interfacing with the conlanging community, to keep building my conlanging skills, and hopefully see everyone again in a couple of years. Thank you all for watching this, and I will see you in the next one.